What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. This time we're taking a look at Ninja Turtles 3, the second sequel in the original trilogy of Ninja Turtles movies, and I'm going to make this short, I'm going to make this sweet. Ninja Turtles 3 sees the Turtles go back in time to feudal Japan, and that's pretty much the story. How do I feel about Ninja Turtles 3? When compared to the first two, this is definitely the weakest of the bunch. I think this movie is boring, it has wasted potential. It's not unwatchably bad, but it's just not interesting at all when you have a great first movie and you have a second movie that did a lot of really dumb things but was still very entertaining. Then you get this movie which just it feels tired. That's what Ninja Turtles 3 feels to me. It feels like the franchise is just dead and on life support, and Ninja Turtles 3 just doesn't have a good story to it whatsoever. The story's kind of lame. To be honest with you, with Ninja Turtles 3, I would have did Krang and Dimension X if you want to do things with time traveling and stuff like that. Instead, this movie does the Turtles going back through time to feudal Japan because April buys this time scepter and she accidentally gets transported to feudal Japan, and the Turtles got to go to Japan to try and save her. Well, all the while, they got to help. They're caught in the midst of this civil war that's going on. And speaking of which, the villains in this movie are called Lord Nakanaga and Walker. These are the most horrible villains ever. They have no threat to them. They got no menace to them. The movie tries to build Lord Nakanaga as a serious man, but yet they do really bizarre slapstick comedy things with him and make him look like a bum. Then you have the character of Walker, who's supposed to be like this ruthless Englishman, but he acts like a putz. Pretty much, he acts like a putz. Yeah, the villains in this movie they're not threatening whatsoever. They suck. Also, this movie brings back Casey Jones and does absolutely nothing with Elias Koteas back as Casey Jones. Instead, when we get to feudal Japan, we hang out with this character called Wit, who is a descendant of Casey Jones. Like, I don't want to see Wit. I want to see Casey Jones. If you're gonna have Casey Jones come back, at least have him go back to feudal Japan with April and the Turtles. Instead, Casey has to hang out with Splinter, babysitting these four royal guards who were transported into the present timeline, because in order for time traveling to work in this movie is really confusing. The weight and mass need to match the people who are traveling through time. That's the rules this movie came up with. It makes absolutely no sense. How Japanese royal guards have the same weight and mass density to the Ninja Turtles is beyond me. It makes no sense. But anyway, Casey has to act like a babysitter, and he does absolutely nothing. I want to see Casey crack some skulls with the Turtles, not be a babysitter. You bring back Elias Koteas, and you absolutely waste him as Casey Jones, and you give this character of Wit all the good stuff. And even the character of Wit isn't all that interesting, because I don't care for him. I don't care for Casey Jones' descendant. I want to see Casey Jones. From a production standpoint, the movie's at least competently shot. I like the look of feudal Japan. They captured that 1600s time period, the whole samurai look. It looks cool for what it is. Raph has this nice little subplot how he teaches a boy named Yoshi how to control his temper, which is actually cool because Raphael's the turtle who has temper issues, and he acknowledges that fact, and he tries to give guidance to a little boy who has that issue too. So that is actually pretty cool. It shows Ralph growing up. The movie also teases a romance between Michelangelo and this character called Mitsu. Whatever, doesn't really go anywhere, especially in the end. Goes absolutely nowhere. Yeah, this movie has the season return of Corey Feldman as Donatello, and it's a nice plus. Also, Kevin Clash gets replaced as the voice of Splinter, and I do not like the voice of Splinter in this movie. It sounds horrible. Kevin Clash, you are not. Kevin Clash is the voice of Splinter. He is the best voice for Splinter. This new guy didn't like him at all. Did not like the Splinter voice in this movie. It sounded just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Speaking of which, the look of the Ninja Turtles in this movie, they look cheap looking. The first two movies, they look cool. This movie, they look cheap. I mean, they don't look horrible, but they just look weird to me. This movie it just has a weird look. I don't know what it is about this movie. I just don't care for it. It does absolutely nothing for me at all. So yeah, those are just pretty much my thoughts on TMNT 3. Overall, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It's nothing offensively bad, but compared to the first two movies, it's weak. It has a lot of wasted potential to it. It has a couple of good elements to it, but overall, you can skip it and you ain't gonna miss a beat. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.